to it.
Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of Palm Coast Acupuncture and Chiropractic, the podcast.
Today's topic is migraine headaches and chronic headaches and what acupuncture and chiropractic can do to help.
That's right. So what do we always talk about, right? Hardware and software. That's basically what headaches are. The combination of the two. So
you have the physical aspect, and then you have the neurological aspect. So a lot of times Bryan and I will co-treat. So he will take care of the physical aspect of your neck. So that's the muscles, tendons, ligaments, that sort of stuff.
Well, tension headaches. Let's talk about that for a hot second. So I mean, what different types of headaches, right? So tension is by far the most common. When people are just really, really stressed out all the time, you get this band right across the forehead, almost like a sweatband, right? It just hurts. It's painful, right? But guess where most of that comes from? The base of the neck. So tight muscles, they cramp, they spasm, they kind of choke off some of the suboccipital nerves, and they go right to the front of the forehead there. Headaches. So how do you fix that kind of stuff? Well, if it's an atlas misalignment, then hi, I'm your man. That's what we do here. But if it's more of like a tension, a stress kind of thing, software.
Yeah. So what I would do in that situation is work with your muscles and your nervous system just to help relax everything so that that tension comes off of your head.
Well, take the stress down a couple pegs as well, too.
Yeah, and then, of course, we always address the root, right? So what's the problem? Is it something you ate? Is it stress? Is it from trauma? Is it from an injury? So your first visit, we really go over this in detail as to what the root of the problem is so we can fix it. Because if you don't know the root cause of the problem, then you can't fix it. And, we're just not in the business of symptomatology. Like we don't
in the carrot.
We don't want to do that,
So then let's talk about migraines a little bit more of a complicated matter there.
Okay.
So migraines, there's multiple different causes of migraines. You have your vascular, you have your neurological, but you also
have ocular migraines.
Oculars, actually I suffer. Did you know that I actually suffer from ocular migraines?
I did not. I've been married to you for like 10 years. I never knew that.
Yeah, it's true. So randomly, an ocular migraine, by the way, is when you're staring at something, whether it be a bright light or for me in particular, it's actually like when I go from a dark room to a bright room and I'm under a lot of stress, I actually get these little fireflies that kind of go across my eyes there. And it's basically just
see him in the morning when I turn the light on. He goes... See, now I know why.
Not actually the cause. That's just me. I'm not a morning person.
He's not. He is not a morning person. I am, so it works out beautifully.
And so are our kids, unfortunately, too. So
yep. 5 a.m.
5 o'clock, bing, and they got crack in their veins. Anyway, so when you start talking about the symptoms of migraines, that's the sensitivity to light and sound, where just everything is just like, I can't deal with this kind of stuff. I have to go into a dark room and just put my face down into a pillow and just be quiet for the next, nap it off kind of thing. So our rooms are actually very conducive to napping it off. We have some very nice, relaxing rooms for that to happen if you are suffering from a chronic migraine. But in general, again, another little tip and trick. So here's a fun little tip trick. If you are suffering from those types of migraines, take a single ice cube and place it right there in that little nape of the neck. And sometimes that will actually help with getting rid of migraines. Now, normally we say ice is for dead people. This is the one time that we're going to disagree on this kind of stuff.
Well, no, I get the point behind it because your nervous system is focusing on something different. So if it's more of like it will stop the pain. It breaks the cycle of the pain.
Yes, it breaks the cycle.
So that's what we're looking for. And sometimes, yes, that's a very famous saying in Chinese medicine is that ice is for dead people. You should definitely put some heat on it, like alternate ice and heat if you do use ice. There's a lot of good research surrounding that too. So that's a whole different topic. But going from migraines from a chiropractic standpoint to an acupuncture standpoint, I can do a lot to help too. And, even musculature-wise, neurogenic migraines, sometimes they don't know the cause. Idiopathic migraines. Idiopathic means they don't know what's causing it. So, they send them to the last resort, which is often Bryan and I, and we can really do a lot to help with their pain, manage the stress, and also any other symptoms that come along with the migraines too. Sometimes it's nausea and vomiting. Sometimes, it's the sensitivity to light. Sometimes it's like severe panic attacks. It just depends. So we treat the whole person, not just the migraine headache.
So now that we've kind of talked about what we can help, let's maybe talk about what we can't help with. Now, some of the things that we call red flags. Now, whenever somebody comes in, we're always looking for these types of red flag scenarios.
Listen, if half your face is falling off, you're going to the hospital.
Exactly. Don't even pass
Like,
go. Just go directly there.
You're kind of droopy this way. That's definitely a sign of a stroke.
Sometimes if you're getting some tingling up into the jaw kind of sensation,
that's also a red flag.
That's a heart attack. And also, wifey, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of turn your head a little bit that way. Just turn. Pain right there, where it's encompassing the whole back half of the head there, that's a hypertension headache. And we actually saw a case of this earlier last week. It just caught up completely by incidence. Just when people are coming in for the initial exam, we ask questions, and it turns out that this particular woman had a blood pressure of 180 over 70 or so. So too high. That's a little high. Yeah, that's a little high. But if you don't ask the questions, then you don't know. So a lot of times when people say, "Hey, my head hurts," or "Hey, I'm having the worst headache I've ever had in my entire life,"
that's red flag.
Or hey, when you're looking at somebody and they can't kind of see out of the corner of their eye, like if they are caught off guard by something that you saw coming and the person in front of you did not, they might be losing their peripheral vision. And we've seen those kind of situations before, where it's something a little bit more sinister, kind of outside the realm of diagnosing here in the office, but at least we can point in the right direction if that's something you're experiencing. So again, loss of your peripheral vision, if you can't see about 180 degrees off to your side, if you're having a headache in the base of the skull, not the neck, talking right there at the base of the skull. If you can't raise both of your eyebrows, if one kind of, if one doesn't raise and the other one does.
Okay, everybody do it with us now. Raise your eyebrows. Puff out your cheeks.
Stick your tongue straight out. Does it deviate to the side, or does it go straight?
It's the only time you won't get yelled at for sticking out your tongue.
Weirdo.
Sometimes. Yes, I'm an acupuncturist. Of course I'm weird. It's like the definition of weird. But anyways,
yeah.
These are signs that
we can't help with those.
Being weird. No, we can't help with being weird. We encourage you to be weird here.
Fly your weird flag.
Fly your weird flag. Yay. But we can really, really help with chronic migraines, even acute headaches, stress tension related headaches, cluster migraines. We treat the whole person, not just the condition. So if you have any questions as to what we can or can't do for you, we would be happy to see you. You can always give us a call, 386-225-6134. You can visit us online too at palmcoastacupuncture.com. We are on Instagram. It's at Palm Coast Acu, ACU. So you can find us on there. And we have some really fun videos on TikTok too. So just as a sideline there. I'm really proud of my TikTok channel because I'm 43 and I don't know how to use social media. So this is a huge deal for me, okay? Be proud.
We're keeping up with the youngins. I'm sorry to anybody under 20 who watches this.
All right. I think that's about it for today. Thanks for your time. I hope you guys have fun watching. I hope you find this informative. And leave us some comments below. Tell us what you would like to hear about. Would you like to hear about how acupuncture is not voodoo? Do you want to hear about, I don't know, just type it in.
Even something in left field, like if you want to know more about, like, I don't know, nutrition or some crap like that, just let us know. We love this kind of stuff. This is what we love to talk about.
So maybe we'll do a podcast about this at some point, but Bryan and I right now are doing fasting.
Ooh, yes.
So
intermittent, by the way.
Intermittent fasting,
yes.
Yeah. So we're on like a 16-8-24 plan, like 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of eating, 16 hours of fasting, and then 8 hours of eating. And it's been an interesting journey. Like, I feel really good, but it goes against all of my Italian blood, okay?
We're going to save this one for another time. Okay, we're only like day 3 in on this one. So
I just want to talk about it. You're not going to let me talk?
That's going to be tomorrow's podcast.
Okay.
To be continued.
I was talking about food. It's my favorite subject. Manja.
Say goodbye, wifey.
Bye. Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
day.